So I started on Juice Plus about 20 years ago. And I knew that I was not eating right. When you're eating animal crackers, cheese sticks, and Diet Coke in the car on the way to school every morning, that's not a good thing. So very grateful that my daughter Kim introduced us to Juice Plus. So fast forward from the beginning, about 2014, and I ended up with breast cancer. Well, I hadn't been eating right, so what did I expect? So I got that taken care of, and 7 years later, this Christmas, well, here it was again. Merry Christmas. So this time I had a mastectomy. My surgeon said, you don't want to mess around with this and take a chance on it coming back again. So I'm fine now. No, and I've had no chemo and no radiation either time. So I give Juice Plus a lot of credit for all of that. And what I'm sitting on is not really furniture, but it is a favorite place to sit. I am sitting on my tower garden, which I cleaned and replanted about 2 weeks ago. So I've got a lot of growth, and I don't know if you can see, whoops, down at the bottom. If I move my screen a little, you can see I've got really good growth in 2 weeks. So it's amazing. But my favorite part of the Tower Garden is getting them into schools. I have them in 3 of our 4 elementaries here in McPherson and in our middle school. I still have the high school to get, but some things take a little more time than others. But the kids love them. I was at school and I was in their classroom, and they were harvesting. And so one of the kids came up and he says, Mrs. Ball, there's something on that tower I do not like. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, why don't you go ask the kid who planted it what in the world he planted? So he came back with what I thought he was going to come back with. He says, it's arugula and it's spicy. I don't like it. And I said, well, now you know, if you're at the grocery store with mom and she's getting lettuce, then you can say, Mom, I don't like that arugula stuff. Could you get something else? So it gives our kids not only the experience of growing, it also gives them the experience of tasting. And when they taste, usually they like what they've grown. And I think everything else on their tower he liked. But there was just one out of 24 or 25 things he did not like. So it's a good education for them, not only with the planting, but also with taste buds. And I love that story because it's just a kid, you know, and they have their likes and dislikes just like the rest of us. So I love that part. And I love the fact that we can start other plants. I'm sitting here and I can look out on my deck, and I started tomato plants from seeds right here on the deck of the Tower Garden, where it was I could just scoop water out, pour it into the container that I had them in, and they were getting all the nutrition they needed, and they were getting the light from the tower. One of the teachers at school this year, different school, different classroom, but she said, I'm hoping that we can get some plants started in here that then we can also set outside. but they had a lot of really nice plants, and they had it in a hallway because there were 2 rooms sharing. And so by having it out in the hallway, the entire building could look at the tower. They could all watch it grow. They could tell when the lights came on, when the lights went off. And it was just amazing. So I am a lover of a tower garden. And I used to have mine out on the deck. And the last time I brought it in was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago or longer. And I'm a lazy gardener, so I didn't ever put it back out. I love having it inside where I can cut off of it, drop it in the salad bowl or on a plate, and we eat it. So to me, it's absolutely amazing. And when I think back to all of the years that I grew outside and fought the weather, fought the bugs, fought whatever was out there, I just am amazed and grateful that Tim Blank came up with this. It's amazing. It truly is. I cannot say enough good about it. Because when you can plant in Kansas year round, and you can have food on the table year round that is really fresh, tastes good, it's amazing. We do have winter and summer, and sometimes we have nice springs and falls. Sometimes we kind of skip those seasons a little bit, but we can always have good food. And I've had this tower garden since they first came out. This is, I don't know, 13 years old. So it's not really costing me anything to get my fresh veggies that are super duper good. So I'm going to recommend everybody try a tower garden. You cannot beat it.